All right, welcome everybody to emotions and the immune system. So how many of you know what the immune system is? You think you got a pretty good handle on it? Okay. I'm just going to go over real quickly kind of what it is, because it's a whole lot more. As I was doing the research for this, it's a whole lot more than what I thought it was, right? And it affects a lot of other body parts than what I realized. So your immune system is made up of a large number of organs and white blood cells. Proteins are the antibodies, lymph nodes, spleen, tonsils, and adenoids, your thymus, your bone marrow, your skin, stomach, bowel acids, and bacteria. Did you know all of that was part of it? I was like, holy cow. So the system works together to protect you from germs and helps you get better when you get sick. Your immune system works hard to keep you healthy, and its job is to keep germs out of the body, ideally, just destroy them or limit the extent of their harm if they get in. So it's not going to keep everything out, but it does its best to destroy or limit the effect of it. Okay, so when your immune system is working properly, it can tell which cells are yours and which substances are foreign to your body. It activates, mobilizes, attacks, and kills foreign invader germs that cause you harm. Your immune system learns about germs after you've been exposed to them too. And this is key, you guys, for what we need to understand. So our body develops antibodies to protect you from those specific germs. So an example is chickenpox. Once exposed to the disease, your body develops an immunity for future exposures. Okay. Doesn't mean chickenpox virus goes away forever, but it means that, yeah, well, and I think there's probably lots of reasons for that, but your body recognizes with the exposure, right? And it says, well, we have this, we can take care of this, and it knows what to do. Okay. That's what we want our body to do. That's how God created us. So when our immune system can't mount a winning attack against an invader, a problem such as an infection develops. And sometimes our immune system mounts an attack where there is no invader or doesn't stop the attack after the invader's been killed. And that results in such problems as autoimmune diseases and allergic reactions. We're going to talk about some of this stuff, the emotional part of it. And then as we go through this at the end, if you're like, okay, what about this condition? We can look it up. Okay. Cause I just tried to pick a few, but this guy really, I mean, like there's a huge gamut of conditions that we can look up. So the immune system works hand in hand with the respiratory, circulatory, and digestive systems. So we must ensure we're getting the proper nutrition needed to support every system in the body. When we use an essential oil infused product, it helps the body absorb nutrition from the foods we eat and makes the nutrients from the supplements we take more bioavailable. And we can even use Vitality essential oils, which, oh, I do have one, yay. What is it?
White labels.
White labels.
For the Vitality. This one is cinnamon bark.
Oh, cinnamon bark, yes. So we can use these like as dietary supplements, right? And that's why the white labels. So there's actually a orangish label or brown label over there of cinnamon bark because it was a free one. It's the same oil in the bottle, you guys. Okay, so don't get hung up like, oh, I can't take this internally because I don't have the white label. If it's cinnamon bark, it's cinnamon bark. Okay. But when we take these internally, then it just helps to boost it can boost our immune system and really work better in our body as well. Okay. And then of course we need to oil infused products like the Thieves Household Cleaner can protect our home from harmful chemicals and toxins and actually promote health for us as well. Okay. So it's not just cleaning the counter, but by breathing that in, whatever we're spraying on the counter, we're breathing in, it's affecting my respiratory system. It's affecting my immune system. I mean, even my digestive system, right? So we need to be using clean products, good products, not stuff that's going to cause more damage in our body. All right. So a couple weeks ago, we did a class on emotions and the digestive system. And at that class, I talked about that over 75% of our immune system starts in our gut. Okay, so think about that because most people think, well, I just have an immune system and I'm just healthy. Well, it actually starts in your gut. So what's impacted by that? Everything you put in your mouth. Okay, so, and everything that we breathe in it goes to our gut too, right? So, things matter, like the food that we put in, the water, or what other drinks that we're putting in, and even air, it all matters, okay? So we have to give our body good food, not the SAD diet. You know what that's SAD is the standard American diet, right? So most of us, if you're eating boxed stuff, if you're eating the SAD diet, sorry to tell you. So we have to give our body good food to build healthy cells. Limiting sugar. Sugar actually feeds disease. Okay. Dairy creates mucus, and standard wheat products are inflammation causing. Okay. So if you're eating a lot of those things, just be paying attention and what's going on in your gut. Is your immune system, or, do you always feel like, gosh, I'm just under the weather all the time? I'm just, I'm so tired or so sluggish. Probably that's related at least to the food that we eat. And we need to focus on adding more fruits and vegetables, grass-fed meat, and fermented foods to your diet. How much water do we need to drink a day?
64. Half our body weight.
Half our body weight. So 64 ounces if you weigh 128 pounds, which I do not. Okay, well, good for you. I'm so impressed. Then yay for you to drink 64 ounces. I would have to do like only 3 of these then. That would be awesome. Okay, but in reality, I need to do a whole lot more than 3. And most of us do. Okay, but that does not mean tap water. So and it doesn't mean, oh, I'll just go buy the bottled water at the store, because most bottled water that you're buying is tap water, bottled, right? So make sure that you know what you're getting, and do some research on, certain brands. There are certain brands that I, will usually buy. If you open a bottled water and it tastes like ick, then it probably, it's tap water. And I can, yeah, and there are definitely some brands that taste swampy. That's a good word for it. Thank you. So, look into filters and do what you need to do to be putting good water into your body.
No, that's the plastic.
It's yes. Yeah, which is why reusable water bottles are always good, right? So, okay, speaking of, we have Berkey filtered water back there, so you are welcome to get some if you need it. Okay, a fun habit to help you drink more water is to drink it with warm water with lemon. How many of you guys have done that just to help flavor it or give it a little bit of, to help you get it down? Most people think of lemon, they squeeze the fruit then, right? But that actually eats away your enamel, your tooth enamel. The lemon that we use comes from the rind of the lemon, so it's not acidic and it won't damage your teeth. Okay, so adding a couple of drops of lemon oil is a great option for you. It's also alkalinizing, or you could use thieves, right? Because that's a good one and then it will help support your immune system as well.
More alkaline your body, the less disease.
Yep, which we're going to be talking about right now. So thanks for that segue, Rachel. I think she must have. Okay, so increased acid and inflammation leads to an increase of disease process. And one of our most underused products is Alkalign. And Skyla, actually, there are some samples in there. Yep, you can hand them out if they haven't tried them. There's more in here if we run out. So Alkalign has 9 biochemical mineral cell salts and lemon and lime essential oils that help the body create a more alkaline environment, which decreases the potential for yeast and fungus growth, inflammation, and digestive discomforts. So it really does help with a lot of things. When we live in an acidic state from poor diet, lack of sleep, stress, negative emotions, medication, smoking, all those things add to the acidity of our body. Okay, so let me go through that again just to remind you, because I did it fast. Poor diet, lack of sleep, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Stress, negative emotions, which we're going to be talking about, medications, smoking, those are just a few of the factors, okay, that it increases our inflammatory responses, which in turn increases disease processes. So Alkalign actually comes, and I don't think I grabbed the bottle of it. It comes in a bottle that's about that size over there. And then it also comes in these stick packs, okay? You use, I think it's a teaspoon, so you just dip your teaspoon in the bottle, or you just use a stick pack. It's very much like a Plop Plop Fizz Fizz product that's on the market. But it's really nice just to be able to dump that in. You let it fizz up a little bit, then you stir it, and you drink it, and it has that lemon lime flavor. But this, I don't usually remember to take this unless I'm like, oh, my stomach hurts and I'm just kind of bloated, right? Yeah, after the effect, which is fine because it takes care of it and it just calms my stomach down and helps me move right along. But ideally you take it before if you
So
remember.
this is good for your digestive system.
It is good for your digestive system.
And how often would you take it?
Well, it depends on what your issues are, but if you're having chronic issues with digestion, you have to go back to food. Okay, we have to look at what we're putting in our body and how our body's using it or not using it. Because I can use this, like if I wanted to eat McDonald's every day, I could use this every day. And it's gonna help my body, but it's not dealing with the issue, which is my body doesn't know what to do with the McDonald's food. Right, because it's not really good, healthy food. My body's craving healthy food. So if you're having chronic digestive issues, that's a whole nother class, honestly, but we have to go back to food and water. Okay, and exercise. I mean, because all of that matters, and we have to go back to how you're pooping, and what your bowels are doing. I know it is a fun class, and I think that, that we may have to do that pretty soon. Absolutely. You're welcome. So there are definitely options. But this is going to be kind of like the fizzy stuff that, so it also, I suppose you could take this if you weren't feeling well, like you exposed to flu or something, and you want to throw up instead of drinking Sprite. This would be a good one to also settle your stomach, right? So another option for that. Okay, negative emotions and stress have a very low frequency. Okay, this is how we feel the frequency when we walk into a room and it's tense, right? And you're like, oh, I don't want to be in here. I want to turn around and leave. So positive emotions carry a high frequency, which is why we love to be around positive people and environments, because it makes us feel better by raising our frequency. So if we live in a place of fear, fear, resentment, or anger, we have placed our immune systems in a compromised state already. Okay, so think about, what are you listening to all day long? Are you watching the news? That you're living in fear and anger. I'll just tell you, because there's are you spending all day reading the newspaper and reading all the stuff on Facebook? And are you comparing yourself to everybody else's life? Because that's just the highlights, right? Or are we really taking care of ourselves, putting positive into ourselves, right? So the other thing that loves low frequencies like negative emotions are pathogens. Okay, so every time that we're living in a lower frequency, we are allowing and inviting in really bad bacteria, mold, and viruses, because they all thrive in an acidic and low frequency environment. So when we're talking about helping our body become more alkaline, positive emotions are helping our immune system be stronger against those outside pathogens as well. Okay. And I'm not going to go into all the woo-woo stuff, but, really think about it. As we talk about some emotions through this class, I'm going to say, instead of focusing on the fear, let's focus on this instead. And writing down and then speaking those phrases reminds us, well, when we speak it, our mind hears it. Okay, so it's one thing to think it and our mind just goes, yeah, that's not true. But when we start to speak it, then our mind hears it and says, oh, that is true. Okay, I can do that. I'm being reminded of that. Okay, so make sure that you're speaking these things out loud. Okay, a couple other things that we have to go through before I jump into oils and stuff. Fresh air, we have to get outside. It's getting cooler. Today was hot though. I'm sorry, but I was like sweating. But it's getting cooler. Get outside, and even get outside barefoot if you can. Ground yourself in the grass, walk around your grass barefoot. This would be a good thing for your son even to do. Nature is just a natural mood elevator, right? It brings our frequency up. It's a great stress reliever also, and a great way to reset. If you can't get outside, then of course diffusing grounding oils like evergreen essence or pine, and pine's actually free. If you want it, you can open that and pass it if you want. Pine is also good for junk, the stuff that is going around. This would be a great one to diffuse or put it on your body. Idaho Grand Fir, there's lots of other really grounding oils that we can use. And as she passes it, put a drop in your hand. Okay, I would really encourage you to, because the bottle might smell one way, but if you put a drop in your hand, you're going to smell it differently, okay? Because sometimes oils get spilled on each other, or, just put a drop in your hand. Okay, exercise is stress relieving at its best. So when we get our heart rate up and air moving through our lungs, that helps us flush. And it's really good for our lymphatics, which is our sewage system of the body. Okay, so our joints, heart, brain, lungs, and bowels all need movement for proper care. Stretching supports the flexibility of your spinal cord, impacts your age and health of your entire body inside and out. So even if you don't want to go for a marathon, you can just walk around the block a few times. Walk up and down the stairs in your house if you are in your apartment building. If you especially if you haven't done anything, just getting moving is helping.
Yeah, walking up to the flight to go to the bathroom.
Yes. Yeah, parking farther away, and there's some easy ways to start to incorporate some of this into your life. Okay, and last thing is to get toxic cleaning products and personal care products, get them out of your house. Okay. All of these things gunk up our cells and make the body work even harder. And hopefully you're familiar with our line of Thieves products. If anybody isn't, you're welcome to have a sample. This is our household cleaner. It will make at least 2 32-ounce bottles, that container or that little package will. And we clean everything in our house with it. That's what we're cleaning this office with as well. Because it doesn't, we're not breathing in junk, right? So this is a super easy way to easy switch. And you can grab a starter bundle, the Thieves starter bundle at incredible savings, and then, or place all your products on loyalty rewards, right? Because then you get even more benefit. Okay. And if you're not familiar with that, we'll talk about that in a minute. Well, more than a minute. Okay. So we talked about all of our body systems are interconnected. So it makes sense that we often feel run down, fatigued, and exhausted on an emotional level with acute or chronic infections. Sometimes the emotional and mental effects of illness show up first, which suggests we need more support. So when you're feeling run down, weary, vulnerable, and easily overwhelmed or triggered, stop and take inventory of your physical health. The organisms that invade our cells and bring us down affect our emotions too. And so a lot of this information, and you guys, again, can look at these afterwards. I'm not going to pass them around now because sometimes people get too distracted and then you miss out on all the good information. But this is where I've gotten a lot of the information for this what the emotional part is. So it's Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die by Carol Trueman and Louise Hay, Heal Your Body. And then when we look for the essential oils that go along with them, or to help us overcome them, really is what it is. This is Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils by Dr. Carolyn Mine, who is like 5 foot tall. She's the shortest little lady. She's super cute. So, okay. We're going to talk about a couple of conditions that, because tis the season, right? For weather changes, and it seems like many are suffering from colds and allergies. Anybody deal with those? Okay. So for allergies, I'm gonna tell you some of the emotions that go along with allergies. And then if this is something that you are dealing with, or that somebody that's dealing with them, now we can't go to them and say, oh, I went to this class and this is what your issue is.
Your nose is running on it.
But it may give you some insight into things. Okay. And sometimes for ourselves, it's really hard to recognize that. So if you're not sure about it, maybe you talk to somebody that's close to you and say, okay, this is the stuff. Cause that's what I would do. Sometimes, I dealt with chronic sinus stuff, and well, not really sinus, but just runny nose and congestion. And sometimes I'd look at the list and I'm like, I just don't see it. I don't get it at all. And I would call Skylar or my friend Danny. And I'd be like, this is the list, tell me. And sometimes they would even be like, nope, I don't see it in you today. But oftentimes it's like, oh, but what about this, right? So sometimes we need that other person to give us the feedback that we're blind to at the moment. Okay, so don't be embarrassed by that. All right, so allergies. Do you relate to suppressing weeping, which I thought was really interesting? It's not just crying, but it's weeping. So many of us stuff emotions, right? And we hold things in, and I'm not going to let it go. Feelings that don't seem to have an answer to change. Fear of sharing feelings with people. Maybe you're feeling stifled, denying your own power, or feeling aggravated by someone or something.
I take stupid people.
Yeah.
That's what I call them.
Okay, so, yeah, and I think I did, let's see if I did aggravated. If not, we're gonna look it up. Okay, I don't think I did. So let's say you identified fear. Okay, so it's a like fear of sharing feelings or fear of change or fear of losing your power, whatever. You can change the thought to I face the unknown. And you would actually use Royal Hawaiian sandalwood on the third eye. So if you put Royal Hawaiian sandalwood or sandalwood, whatever you have, and I think I have them both, yeah. You can just pass around one of them. But the third eye is like right above your eyebrows, okay? So, and I'm gonna go through this because in the book where you're gonna think things are, it's not sometimes where we think things are. So I will tell you. So if you are dealing with any of this, and it could be, what is this one? Fear. If you're having fear in any part of your life, again, I would encourage you, put a drop on, just rub it on here and see what happens. Okay. It may not even be something that you're aware of right now because it may not be allergies, but fear is pretty common in a lot of different things. Okay. So I face the unknown is the way out of fear. Change if you're feeling maybe powerless or denying your own power. You can change it to I am empowered, and you put highest potential on the kidney points, which is actually, so your kidneys are like back here in the back, right? But your kidney reflex points are a couple of inches, let's see, above your belly button on either side of your spine. So about right here. And so you would rub this oil right here, okay? And we can go over these later as well. If you're feeling aggravated, I did write down aggravated, yay. All right, so this is what you need and what probably most of us need. Okay, I'm not just gonna pick on you.
Oh, it's okay, I know.
I need this like every day too, so trust me. So change the aggravation to I am centered and just start saying I am centered. I am centered. It sounds kind of goofy, but I am centered. And this is, you're gonna apply tea tree, which is Melaleuca.
Sorry. On the front.
Highest potential is on your belly button, a couple inches above your belly button on either side of your spine.
Okay. You said
So, no, but
Okay.
well, I mean, because
Yeah.
so there's a chart, yeah, just so you guys know, there's a chart in the book, and this is where I get it. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the spine, even though it's the front of the person. So that's where I'm kind of going, and you kind of have to look at this. Okay. So aggravation, again, aggravation, change it to I am centered, apply tea tree. It might be Melaleuca because I couldn't find a tea tree bottle. On the blood pressure point. Okay, and this one I need to look up because I can't remember now. Blood pressure point. Okay, so your blood pressure point is like right here in your arm, okay, on both sides. And we all need to put, because we all have aggravation, okay? So, and if you push on it, you're gonna be like, oh, that's a little sensitive, right? Maybe you can feel it. So, okay, both arms, all right? And I'm thinking, like right here. Yes.
And that artery.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So you're gonna put tea tree on that, okay? So we all need, and I'm like, oh, good, I have so much tea tree at home. I could be using this all day long. And now I'm going to be using it all day long. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And there is all kinds of heart issues going on in today's world, right? So maybe this will be a good thing. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. So tea trees for feeling aggravated.
Oh.
Okay, and it's on our blood pressure points, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, maybe you have a cold. Colds are certainly going to be happening to go around, right? So colds, the emotion of it could be unkind feelings towards someone, confusion in the home or life or your life. It could be a belief in seasonal sickness. Some people just believe that every October I just get sick, right?
Seasonal depression from no sun. I have that. That's really bad. I really don't like sun tanning tables. Oh,
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that because there's some oils that you can use just to help you get through that too.
And then seasonal factors is more fast, of course, too. It's a lot of people experience they are again not finding D during the summer. Yeah.
Right, which we're going to talk about too. Okay, other emotions for colds you may relate to feeling too much is going on at once, mental confusion or disorder. Okay, so if any of those fit for you, or small hurts, that's another one. So if you're feeling confused, which again, I tried to pick kind of more common ones, and then I can show you how to do the other ones. Confusion, you can change that to I am centered and focused, and apply magnify your purpose. Let's see, this is at the integration at L3. So this is on either spine, either side of your spine, below about an inch below your waist. So find your waist, go into your back on either side of your spine, go about down an inch, and that's where you're going to put magnify your purpose. Okay.
And that's for what?
For confusion. Now, if you don't have magnify your purpose, you can probably just put something on, right? But something like magnify your purpose is going to elevate, yes, and it's going to pull your body into a higher frequency as well. Okay. If you're feeling overwhelmed, because a lot of us are feeling overwhelmed in today's world, you can change it to I focus my energy and apply envision on your vision point, which is here, the side of your head from your eyebrow. So if you go out to your eyebrow, it's about right here. Okay. So that's your vision point. And again, it's on both sides because we have two eyebrows. Didn't I? Oh, I did. I may not have grabbed that. Okay, sorry. Nope, no problem. I didn't write it
That's
down.
just envision.
That was envision. Magnify your purposes for either side down here. Okay. I mean, it's good too. You can put it on anyways. So yeah, hopefully you're already your frequencies are going up because we're doing this. Now, you guys, here's the thing. We can, if you only have the starter kit, you can use lemon and lavender and frankincense and valor. All of those will raise your frequency. Okay. Every oil will raise your frequency. Okay, so identifying emotions is part of our wellness journey, and it is important to recognize, especially if you're dealing with chronic things or if things just keep coming back like every year. And I'll give you one example. We had a piano teacher years ago that would get sick. I think every March she would be sick, like down to canceling lessons for 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, sick. And my friend Danny finally said to her, "What happened to you in March?"
Oh.
And she was like, "Well, I don't know." And she goes, "Well, something must have happened to you in a March some year." And I don't know, like 5 or probably 10 to 15 years before that, her mother died. She hadn't dealt with any of those issues. Every March she got sick because her body pulled up the memories and pulled up the stress and pulled up everything else. She wasn't doing anything else to support her body. Okay. So you might think, okay, this just seems a little woo-woo-y and it doesn't really apply. Well, yes, it does. So, and of course you don't have to do any of this, right? But if I'm just giving you options. Right. And when we have an acute need, daily support of the immune system with supplements and essential oils keeps our defenses strong and capable. And then anytime we have an acute need, then it can just, we can use the same supplements more frequently to help our bodies fight off illness. So the first one we're going to talk about is InviPro. And this is a power-packed supplement, including naturally derived Ningxia wolfberry polysaccharides and orange essential oil to bolster antioxidants. When the body's defenses go down, the role of antioxidants becomes even more important because it's one of the big fighters in our body, right? So this also contains a blend of mushroom powders for immune support and antioxidants to regulate stress response and hormone levels. And it has melatonin. Remember, I talked about sleep earlier, so we're going to talk more about that now. Melatonin helps to regulate your circadian rhythm, which is your sleep-awake cycle, right? And it modulates the immune response and regulates glutathione levels, which is another primary antioxidant of the body. So sleep is essential when the immune system needs to get its defenses going, and melatonin encourages this by promoting the body's natural sleep rhythm. And then it also includes zinc and selenium for proper immune function, along with chelated minerals that are more easily absorbed by the body. So I love that Young Living puts all that stuff together, and this is a chewable. Okay, so you could suck on it, but you can chew it. When we're stressed physically or emotionally, the body needs sleep to allow healing. Sleep is essential for T cell production, which are the frontline fighters when pathogens invade. and T cell production is ramped up during times of acute illness. Stress hormones such as cortisol. Have you heard of cortisol before? Stress hormones in general can decrease the number of T cells that are produced. Okay, so if we're under a lot of stress, we're not sleeping, all of that's suppressing our fighters in our body. Okay, so it's putting us more vulnerable for disease or illness. Stress hormones levels are also higher when we are awake, which makes sleep during illness more essential. Okay, which I never really had thought about that, but it makes sense because if I'm awake and I'm not feeling well, what's going through my mind? Oh, I just want to sleep, or oh, I just want to feel better, and more stress, right? So that does totally make sense. So there are actually studies showing a correlation between sleep deprivation and anger, frustration with life, fatigue, irritability, weight gain, anxiousness, handling of stress, memory problems, weakened immune system, increased pain responses, and increased inflammatory responses, and which are connected to a whole lot of diseases, right? So it's a known fact that health will deteriorate with sleep deprivation. So sleep is really important. All that to say.
I just started reading a book called Why We Need Sleep. And it's focused, that's the only topic is sleep. And it made me like go to bed at 7:30 the first night that I started it. I'm like, oh, we're not messing around here. This is.
And have you continued?
Which
Go
is
to
a
bed at
joy.
7:30?
My
Obviously.
bedtime, not 7:30, but my bedtime has changed.
Good.
I used to easily like get wound up about 10 and I'm like, oh, I can get so much done from 10 until midnight. And now I'm like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So I am often in bed by 9:30.
Which
So-
they say is actually when you should go to bed, because that's when you get tired at night between 9 and 10 and your body's starting to shut down and go,
Don't wait
it's
till
telling
mine
you,
shuts down.
and it's your body saying it's time to go to sleep.
And don't wait for that.
No, if you get
next
your,
burst of energy, then you're hosed.
yeah, because then you've thrown off all of your cycle.
Then you're like, tired, need a nap, and the next technical term.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Okay, so another sleep option is Sleep Essence. And that's in the here in the front, Sleep Essence. It supports the body to relax into its natural restful sleep rhythm. This one is a gel cap, so you don't chew that one. This contains sleep supporting essential oils of lavender, vetiver, valerian, tangerine, and rue essential oils, plus melatonin to help you fall asleep and sleep well. The body utilizes sleep to perform many immune system tasks, to decrease inflammation and produce cells to fight infections. So we do need sleep. Okay, so maybe you're experiencing insomnia. Anybody like lay there and you're like, oh, first of all, did you miss your time to go to bed? And your window, yes. And your body's revved up again. So if that's the case, then go to bed earlier.
Now I've been entered again. Those things are huge.
Emotions related to insomnia could be tension in life, deep-seated guilt, feelings of fear and anxiety, maybe reaction to potential threatening situations, worrying about being able or good enough to do what's needed. I mean, this is like all stress related, right? Not trusting the process of life, or maybe even guilt can be related to insomnia. So instead say, I lovingly release the day and slip into peaceful sleep, knowing tomorrow will take care of itself. Okay, and you might just say, I allow myself to go to sleep, knowing tomorrow will take care of myself, or take care of itself. I mean, just make it into your own words. This is all of the lovingly stuff is out of this book. I'll just tell you, she's more the lovingly person. But make it your own. Okay, so all right, let's.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
A super quick thing. For me, sometimes if I'm laying awake at night, the thing that is keeping me awake is the endless to-do list. And I just don't want to forget. And so my favorite thing to do to release everything off my shoulders is just do a total brain dump. And I mean, you think of every facet of your life, family, work, church, whatever, and just write it all on paper. And I'm not kidding. There is a release that happens because now your brain doesn't have to hold it for you while you sleep. And it will work hard to remember while you sleep. So you put it on paper, then you can just sleep, and when you wake up, it's all there. You can put it in whatever order you need to.
Yeah.
But I just keep a big notebook. And I just have lists and lists and lists of whatever needs to happen. It helps.
I have tear off pads and
Yeah.
sometimes when I'm laying there and it's dark and I'm like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta.
Right, it doesn't
So I
matter.
lean over, grab my pen and I scribble and the next day I'm like,
What?
but I can usually figure it out, but sometimes I write over other things and then it takes me longer. But it dumps it.
Yeah.
Okay, so oil options. If you're late to worry, you can say everything works out for me and apply abundance over the esophagus, which, okay, so you'd think your esophagus is up here, right? But the esophagus alarm point is 2 inches below your nipples. So like, figure out where your nipples are, and that's, did I not bring abundance either? Okay, otherwise I've got it, okay. So we'll pass around abundance for you guys. It tells you that in the blue book. The blue book is the releasing emotional patterns using essential oils, okay? So, so let's see, what did I say? Worry, is that what we're doing? I go to look in here, worry, it gives me the oil. Well, it tells me the other side. So the other side of worry is abundance, it says. Their way out is, it says I go to the depths. I was like, that's weird. That's, so what did I say? Everything works out for me. Cause I like that one. And then it tells me the oil is abundance. It tells me the esophagus, and then it gives me the chart so that I can look up where this is an alarm point. It's not the actual esophagus of the body. It's an esophagus alarm point. Okay. So what I did is I looked all these up earlier, put it in my notes so I can tell you quicker how to do this. Okay. For guilt, you can say, I learned from all of life's experiences and apply clarity, which I don't think I grabbed that one either, over the spleen, which is on your sides, halfway between your armpit and your waist. So your spleen is up here. So weird. Yeah.
On the other side of the
Oh,
nipple.
no.
There you go.
Hold on.
Everything around.
DGH.
It's all connected.
Yeah, your
Below,
spleen,
the side, above.
no, yes, your spleen is on both sides. Yeah. So these are your alarm points. It's not your actual organ, right? Okay. All right, moving on. Inner defense. This offers defense and protection from all the world can throw at us. This is a blend of essential oils that supports the immune and respiratory systems, making it part of your health routine, either daily or when your defenses start to go down. So you
What is
can
that one?
inner defense. You can use this every day.
If you want to look at the size, put it in the cap. so I'm not actually touching it.
That might be preferred by everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you turn the heat or the air up a little bit? Yeah.
Heater up or?
No,
conditioner?
air conditioning out.
Okay, I was like.
Sorry, I'm like so hot right all of a sudden. Okay. All right.
Take other supplements. That's my problem with like the timing.
So the question is, when do you take them? And a lot of times I take inner defense if I feel like I'm coming down with something, or if I know I'm run down, like I'm tired and I'm more vulnerable to possible illness, I will take it a couple of times. Certainly if you actually have something going on, you can take it up to 5 times a day. Okay, which is what it says. If you have a sensitive stomach.
If you have a,
Yeah.
yeah, I have never taken it with food.
No, I don't either.
For me,
I'm fine,
I know
but-
I have to take it.
Yeah.
If you do, have a.
I fast in the morning. I still will take my supplements, but I don't take them too far in advance when I'm gonna eat, just because it's a lot on the stomach too. So it just kind of, you do what works for your body is really what it's most important. Some people will take one every day, just as kind of a, maintenance thing. Unlike an antibiotic, the oil, because these are made with oils, they're different every batch. So your body won't adapt to it and become immune to it. Okay, so you don't have to worry so much about that part of it. But if you don't need it, because it is a cost, obviously, to take one every day. So you can just do it when you start to feel like maybe you're getting a little run down or something.
And then you're feeling run down, can you combine things like the
Yeah,
alkaline?
Alkaline, yep. alkaline.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And the.
Inner defense, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll take
No,
that. That's
no,
okay.
you are totally, I'm glad you're asking. So the question, so you guys online, is can you combine these? And yes, you can combine any of these. And, you probably wouldn't need Sleep Essence and ImmuPro necessarily because they both have melatonin in them.
Do the same thing.
And yeah, do similar, but if one doesn't work for you, then maybe you try the other one. ImmuPro, I know a lot of people will cut them in half or even quarters and give them to their kids just to help them relax and to go to sleep, especially if they've been really wound up or if they feel like, oh, we've all been exposed to something. We want to support our body. So think about these as I'm supporting my body. I'm using them as prevention. And then if I need to, I can use them during, the illness as well to support the body, right? Which is what we want to do. Okay. So Inner Defense contains clove, oregano, thyme, lemongrass, lemon, eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary and cinnamon bark. So all of those are really high immune supporting oils. Okay, look them up because there's a whole lot more than I can say that they do, but that's what I can tell you. All right, and then the other big powerhouse is Ningxia Red. And if you haven't tried Ningxia Red, we have packets for you. They may even still be somewhat cold because I took them out of the fridge.
I love it.
Okay,
Okay.
so you can have another one.
Did you like it too? I love it. It wasn't
Yeah.
like a rush. It was just like, okay, let's focus.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
at first it's like a really strong cherry.
Or, yeah, I was thinking pomegranate.
Yeah, pomegranate cherry kind of flavor.
Yeah. Oh, they were amazing. Yeah.
Sangria.
And then there's really good.
Maybe we'll bring some next time.
Good idea.
So you can do them.
You're welcome.
So you can freeze them and then instead of using the freezer pack, you could just take one and out, so your lunchbox and buy lunch, it should be like thawed and ready to go.
So Rachel said that you can freeze Ningxia packets and use them as a freezer pack for your lunch. Okay, so Ningxia is rich in,
I'm sorry.
that's all right.
It didn't raise my blood pressure. I
Yeah.
have high blood pressure and it was just like, it just
Yep.
focus. Yes,
Yep.
that's all it was.
My son-in-law he's a type 2, no, type 1 diabetic.
My son, too.
And he has discovered that this is like magic for keeping
No
blood
carb.
sugars level.
We
Yeah.
were wondering about
Yeah.
that.
It's beautiful.
The oils will work with the body to help that bring it into balance. And this has oils in it. So it's gonna, similar things with and the juices are all very low glycemic index. So it's going to support the body, support blood sugar, but not take it too low either. So if your blood sugars are too low or your blood pressure is too low, it will help balance that out as well. So either way. Okay, did you have a question?
No.
Okay.
Now, maybe-
Okay. So Ningxia is rich in allegic acid, polyphenols, flavonoids, vitamins, and minerals. It has 18 amino acids, okay, which I thought was really interesting. Yeah, and 21 trace minerals. It has beta carotene and vitamins B1, B2, B6, and vitamin E. So it's a whole lot, which is why we have energy when we drink it, because it's those
All
B
the
vitamins,
Bs,
right?
yeah.
But it's not the energy drink like, whoop, rush. It's that natural energy that God wanted us to have, okay? And that our body can't produce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have caffeine in it, but it feels like that natural, it's that natural
Right.
for us.
Yeah.
So it's an excellent whole food source of nutrients that provides energy and strength to the body. Okay, we need those daily and especially when our defenses go down. Okay, so drink your Ningxia. That's nothing else. Drink your Ningxia. Get some ordered. We'll get you, there's a
think I
starter
have.
pack for that too.
Don't we have
Okay,
that ordered? No. Oh.
okay, we'll get it ordered. Yeah, next. All right, so sinus trouble. How many of you deal with sinus issues? Anybody? Okay, so think about these for the emotions, okay? It's possible emotions. Trying to call the shots in someone else's life.
Oh, boy.
But you.
Is it?
Yep, all right, so we're gonna, okay, that's a control thing. Guys, that's control, right? All right, dominating possessive is another one. Being irritated by a person close to you,
Oh, boy.
like, oh. Okay, so now we're all convicted, at least here. I don't know if you guys are feeling kind of convicted. Okay. So I'll charge y'all later for all this. Okay. So if you are, well, you can think, if any of those relate, you can think instead, I declare peace and harmony surrounds me at all times, right? I mean, isn't that a nicer way to, every time we're feeling irritated by somebody or, wanting to control or whatever, I just declare peace and I'm in harmony at all times. Okay, and if we start saying that, you guys, that will change the energy that's drawn to us as well and what we're putting out. So no longer am I putting out antagonistic thoughts or controlling or whatever. I'm putting out harmony. And we have an oil called Harmony that I put on every day for that reason. Okay, so if you're feeling irritated, I chose a few words because I'm like, yep, this one is somewhat for me, but also because it's pretty common. So if you're feeling irritated, you can say you're going to use cinnamon bark on the head of the pancreas alarm point, which is 2 inches. Oh, this is also 2 inches below your nipples.
Hey. Sorry, Bridget, you missed.
So you got to go down here, okay? Those of you who, if we have breasts, pull them up 2 inches below, okay? You're not putting it on your breast, you're putting it on your body, on your torso.
If you do, you'll feel that as well.
You will feel this. If you're sweaty, this might be a little intense. Because it's a hotter oil. So put it on at your own risk.
No matter how many.
Let's get this is all new topic. Okay. All right, so you guys, again, let's just try, okay? That one's for irritation. If you feel dominating or maybe you're feeling like you're being dominated, you can say, I am safe and use common sense over the ilium, which is the second to the bottom rib. Okay, so if you go on your back, or if you go, let's see, feel yourself up, feel your ribs, okay? Find like your second to the bottom one. So if you find the bottom one, just go up a one. And then go out to the sides of your body, okay? Is your ilium support alarm point, sorry. I don't know. Ask Luann, she's not a nurse. Who's a nurse?
One that you put like in a coffee.
You can put cinnamon bark in a coffee or hot toddy or hot cider or hot cider, hot shot, red shot.
Oh, yes.
Red shot, that has cassia in it too. That's why it's so good. Yeah. Yes, you can. And cinnamon bark is it's a free oil this month at one of the promo levels. I can't remember which one. So, okay. Yeah, like, I don't know.
Ilium is the last part of our small intestine.
Yeah, that's what it is. The ilium is the last part of your small intestine.
You knew that? Mine was remote.
Oh, okay. Well,
There you go.
but so again, we're putting them on alarm points, not on organs, right? Or on the
Yeah.
parts. Okay. The last one for sinus trouble is if you're feeling possessive. And I think that a lot of us, especially, maybe around our kids or different, or maybe it's possessive around possessions, or it could be that other people are feeling possessive of you. You can say, I express, and you can actually apply ylang-ylang over the laryngeal prominence 5th chakra, which is in your upper mid neck. So it's not like up here. It's kind of like right in here. Okay, yeah, above your Adam's apple. I think it's a little bit above that, above your Adam's apple.
Yeah.
So the ylang-ylang would be another good one for blood pressure points, just so you know.
Oh,
So you could put it over there too. But that would be for another reason. So.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Well, I mean, you already know it's off on teeth and.
I love it.
That would be a sleep.
Okay, if you have post nasal drip, okay, anybody have post nasal drip? Like you're not really, okay. So crying on the inside, childish tears, feelings of inner grief, or maybe feeling like you're a victim. Okay, and so I was like, and I even wrote ow, like, oh. So let's reclaim our inner warrior, right? Because that's what we can do, you guys. We can reclaim these parts of ourselves. We don't have to live in that state anymore. So I acknowledge and accept that I have creative power in my world. I now choose to enjoy my life. That's huge. Okay, so you can, if we say stuff like that, again, our body will believe everything that we say. So if you have victim thinking, you can say, I am real, and apply peace and calming on the nerve, which is the top of the shoulder. So it's kind of like right up in here. Okay, the nerve point. Grief, if you're dealing with grief, it takes joy over the adenoids. So that is actually upper nose on either side. Okay, so you're not gonna put it down in your eyes. Be careful of that, but your adenoid point is up here for grief. Joy for grief. Joy is also good over the heart. And if you're dealing with a lot of grief, you can say change brings growth. Which kind of fits, it does, but it still brings growth, even things that we don't think we like. You know, when we look back, we can see that we grew probably the most through the things that we struggled with, right? Okay, two more supplements. We are actually almost done. So let's see, vitamin D3. Okay, we all need our immune and respiratory systems, our bones and joints, our emotions and autoimmune needs are all supported with healthy vitamin D levels. Okay. So you're welcome to try one of these if you'd like. Okay, just put one, you can dump one in your hand or put it in the cap. So you only get one if you only want one. When our natural defenses go down, vitamin D is critical. And having adequate stores before we fall below the wellness line is ideal, as vitamin D works best in a preventative setting. We can also supplement during times of acute need. And so super vitamin D is actually a highly absorbable, vegan-friendly tablet made with lemon balm extract, lime, and Melissa essential oils. These oils increase the bioavailability of vitamin D, meaning that our body absorbs more of it in the presence of essential oils. So you're going to get more bang for your buck. Vitamin D offers important immunomodulatory properties. And vitamin D deficiency is linked to an underfunctioning immune system and a higher predisposition to autoimmune diseases. Okay, so think about the prevalence of autoimmune diseases in today's world. If we can support our body with more vitamin D, and D3 is what we need, right? Maybe you can help prevent some of those, right? Or change some of those, okay? And well, I'm going to get to that in a minute. So you're going to take 1 to 2 tablets daily with food, ideally, or as directed. I just take them when I remember to take them. I'll just be honest with you. You place one in your mouth, you allow it to dissolve for 5 to 10 seconds, and then chew it up. Okay, so let it dissolve on your tongue or under your tongue first. It's fat soluble, so it's good to take when you've had something with good fats in it, like avocado, olive oil, or cheese, because that's going to, again, help your body get more use of it. It's a great supporter of our immune system and our inner ear balance, which I thought was interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah.
If you need, does anybody else sometimes sit at their desk and just feel like, I just need a hit of something sweet, just like a tiny hit? And I know that's an addiction screaming at me, but I have started keeping for the last year or two, right under my computer monitor, I have all of the chewable vitamins. And you may think that's crazy and that might be an off-label use, but I have the Mighty Zymes, the Super C, the vitamin C chewables, and I have these vitamin Ds. And when I feel like, oh, I just really want to go get a snack, nope, Skyla, stay. I will just take a supplement of my choice and place it in, and they taste amazing. They're amazing. And the vitamin C are my favorite because they're a little tart, but they're a little sweet. So I'm just throwing that out there. If you want to put something nourishing in your mouth instead of another piece of candy or whatever. Yeah.
The vitamin D has a 3-month lag, so it helps with hair loss as well. So you need to stay up on it because 3 months from now, you need
Oh,
to
isn't
build
that a great metaphor for everything in our life? The work you put in today, you will see the benefits 3 months from.
Yeah.
Where have you heard that before?
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of it? Joker.
Okay, and Patsy reminds us that the D3 in ours is plant-based from lichen, and all other vitamin D comes from sheep wool. Okay, which is not good.
Is lichen a mushroom?
Um,
Or a fungus?
I thought lichen was is something in the water, isn't it? I don't know. Patsy, tell us what lichen is.
What's lichen like?
It's with K2.
Yes, and ours is.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, because when I looked at
Right?
the ingredient
Yeah.
list.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know.
researched that at one point.
I don't remember. It's good though. Yeah. Okay, vitamin C, which we have a tablet and a chewable, okay?
Okay, so don't chew the tablet, kids.
So-
Pass around the chewable first.
Yep, okay. We all know that vitamin C is good for us and it can help boost immunity. So Super C contains 2,166% of the dietary recommended dietary intake of vitamin C per serving. And it's fortified with rutin, citrus bioflavonoids, and minerals to balance electrolytes and enhance the effectiveness and absorption of vitamin C. Young Living adds in citrus essential oils, which when combined with the other ingredients plays a role in normal immune and circulatory function. It strengthens connective tissues and promotes overall health, vitality, and longevity. So infections significantly impact vitamin C levels because of the enhanced inflammation and metabolic requirements. So when acute needs arise, higher levels of vitamin C are needed to rid the body of infection and bring things back into balance. Vitamin C, it will not store in your body. So if you know you've gotten to the point to too much when you end up with loose stools, right? So then you just can back off. But until you get that, you can really, most of us could really take a lot of vitamin C, okay? This is primarily absorbed inside the cells, although some passive absorption occurs within the GI tract. And because the transporter that moves vitamin C into our cells can only carry so much at a time, we say that it's saturable. So this means when taking higher doses of vitamin C for acute needs, it's preferable to take a little less each dose, but dose more frequently, which is what I was just talking about, okay? Some evidence suggests that plant-based sources of vitamin C, like the rose hips in our Super C chewable, may have slightly better bioavailability than ascorbic acid. So a couple more quick emotions here. Sore throats, okay, that's coming up, right? And people are gonna start having sore throats. So the emotional part of it is feelings of anger that have been restrained or held in. Strong critical words that have been spoken. Swallowed emotional hurts. Not having your own way. I'm just gonna keep reading them off until I hear from everyone. Because this one must be hitting home from a lot. So not having your own way. Feelings of confusion, there's that confusion again. Lack of discernment. Knowledge used unwisely. Okay, so that's all of them. So if you relate to criticism, then you can apply lavender over the skin point, which is on your back and the bottom rib on either side of your spine. Okay, so again, find your kind of your ribs, or you can find it in the front, but then put it on the back on either closer to your spine. And you can repeat, I receive, I trust my inner voice, I am strong, wise, and powerful. If you have swallowed emotions, because I think a lot of us, we don't deal with things, we don't speak it, right? But we don't speak our truth, we swallow it down. I raise my awareness is what you can say, and apply hyssop to the epiglottis. And this is the bottom of your neck. So it's above your notch, but it's right down in here. Okay, so hyssop. Hyssop is a powerful one also, you know, for anything respiratory and clearing energy, and you know, you can anoint your house with it. This is a really good one.
If you were at Britta's Oils of Ancient Scripture class recently or online, you know that hyssop is amazing to just kind of ward off what comes into your home, because they rubbed it on the doorposts.
Yes.
During.
Yeah. The other thing is hyssop and cedarwood they can clear a lot of buried emotions that we have. Okay, so think about hyssop. You can also put it on the tip of your ear, your right thumb, and your right big toe. Okay, and come to a Bible class, I'll explain more about that, or see me afterwards. Okay, the other one that's gonna come up a lot for people is bronchitis. Okay. So extreme disharmony in the home is one of the emotions for bronchitis. And in the book, it says a baby always feels the disharmony is their fault. So think about with babies and all the respiratory stuff, because you can extrapolate that out to other respiratory stuff. Okay, so if there's disharmony in the home, that's huge, right? Here's the other one, there's several of these. Wanting to be able to change things, but you can't. Maybe wanting to be in charge, but you can't. Again, that I think a lot of that with kids especially, but even with grownups. Arguments and yelling, or maybe it's just sometimes silent, like nobody says anything but you feel all that energy, right?
Same tension.
Yep, same tension. So I declare peace and harmony within and around me. And all is well, you can say, which I really like that too, because again, that's claiming that higher energy, right? I claim this. I declare it. Or I accept all that I am. And transformation is the oil. You're gonna use this on your virus alarm point, which is an inch below your belly button in the middle. So go right down from your belly button. You can rub it right there. Or maybe relate more to the argumentativeness part of this, okay? So if that's lots argued in your home, you can state, I am fair, and apply peace and calming on the thyroid point, which is right above your notch on either side of your spine, so right here, okay? Whew, okay. All right, the other thing, we all need a healthy gut. So Young Living's Life 9 provides 9 clinically proven probiotic strains, including some advanced super strains to enhance intestinal health, sustain energy, and improve immunity. So Life 9 has 9. We also have Mighty Pro that I believe has 5. Is that right, Skylar? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6. Some
Pro is, it's the kids probiotic.
So it tastes kind of like a pixie stick. This is another one that you could put next to your desk if you needed a.
I can't.
Okay, so and this is the bag for it if you want to look at it.
It's about to change.
So for,
From the packet?
yep, and grownups can take this too, but you would want to take 2, okay, of them, just because we're bigger in size than usually 4 to 12-year-olds.
Okay.
Okay, and then, well, okay, I think we've covered a lot. We've covered so
Covered
much
a lot.
information.
Okay, I didn't pass these two. Should I?
Um,
Did I miss
No,
my-
no,
Okay.
no, I didn't.
Okay.
cover them. I take probiotics at night because that's when your body's cleansing the most. But I will, Mighty Pro, you can take anytime. I mean, a lot of times people take that, send it to school with them. Yeah,
It's fluffy.
yep. I have found recently that I've actually been taking 2 Life 9 at night for the last couple weeks, and it's totally cleared up my cold again. So, which tells me it's all gut related then, right? And so I have to look again at what's going on in my gut and supporting emotions about that too. So, sometimes we can adjust as we feel needed, okay? And I would just say, we can muscle test or whatever, teach you how to do that later so that but I don't feel, we normally would say follow the recommendations in the bottle, but if you're like, "Well, I just really feel like I need more support," trust your gut on that too.
Okay.
Otherwise, like, isn't there something that will keep you awake in the nighttime?
No, no.
We also have a prebiotic, which is called feed. Which is called the prebiotic drink that you like drinking.
Well, people drink the red drink with sulfurzyme powder in it.
Like the other powder, you know? Yeah.
No,
Yeah, the
ICP daily.
prebiotic.
ICP Daily.
ICP would, yeah.
ICP Daily does, I think. Okay, so let me wrap this up, okay? Because we just talked about a lot of information. Hopefully your heads aren't just like, "Oh, I just can't hear anymore." You smell great. That's right. And hopefully, and you're elevated, our frequencies, again, that's the benefit of showing up, right? If we can.
I don't know what combination, but it's come down my happy.
Oh, good. Good. So breathing's better.
Tight. The
Yeah.
lavender is really good.
It's calming. Hyssop is too. No.
I put something on, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I know.
So hopefully though,
Which one was? Because I feel it,
Good. good.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're starting to see a connection, or most of you have seen a connection between emotions and our immune system, right? We talked last month about emotions and gut. We'll talk next month about emotions and maybe pain, or I don't know. You guys can tell me what you want to learn next. And hopefully you've identified at least 1 supplement or oil, or maybe 5 or 10, that might be helpful to add to your routine. Okay. So if you're not currently a Young Living customer, it's easy to get started. You can ask whoever shared this information with you for their affiliate link, because basically that's all it is. We send you our link, so you get hooked up with us, and then you're invited into our community where we educate you and give you things and share ideas, and you share with us as well. You can order any of our 600 products, but don't let that number overwhelm you, because just kind of like what we talked about tonight, that's a whole lot of stuff. Most of us start with a starter kit of some kind, right? A starter bundle. And we've got some with oils. We've got a Ningxia Red one, which is the red drink. We've got a Thieves one. So if you're thinking, I just need to clean up my house and, get rid of toxic stuff, the Thieves starter bundle is amazing. We have a CBD bundle, or we can help you create your own bundle of supplements that we talked about. So your friend, whoever shared this with you, is your go-to person for questions. And when you're connected with them, you're also connected and welcomed into our community of support. So if you're a smart shopper, you'll love our loyalty program. You just click on add to loyalty order and you'll unlock the 24% wholesale discount and earn points for free products in the future. We're here to help you achieve your success and health in all areas of life, whether that's physical, emotional, or financial. We have options for all. So tell your friend that invited you, shared this video with you, that you're ready to get started, and we can't wait to see you in our community. And hopefully you'll come see us here at the Exchange. So thanks for joining. I am going to stop the recording and we will see you soon.